What's up, everybody? I am DJ Kazzeo, and welcome to Talkin All That Kazz. Now, what is Talkin All That Kazz? Real quick, breaking it down, before I even get to that, let me tell you this. You want to know anything, you want to connect with me on social media, go to this address right here, www.djkazzeo.com, all right? All my stuff's up there. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff is up there, okay? Now, for 27 years, over 27 years, I've been hosting a weekly radio show here at 90.9 FM KHTC in Salinas, California. Every one of the shows I've ever done that's in my library is now online. You can go to this address right here, mixcloud.com/DJ_Kazzeo to hear all the shows, all the music, all the interviews, everything. Okay? Now, speaking of interviews, maybe you don't have the time to go to Mixcloud and listen to the full shows, because there's thousands of hours of stuff to listen to. If that's the case, this is what Talkin All That Kazz is for. I've isolated all the interviews, taken the interview clips, put them in video form, and I'm posting them up here on YouTube for you guys to check out in a shorter time, all right? So you can just go, pick out whatever interview you want to check out, and here it is, okay? So, without further ado, let's see what I got in store for you this time around.
Yes, indeed. It's 90.9 FM KHTC Radio Bilingüe right here in Santa Cruz and Monterey counties. Also 104.1 FM out there in Hollister, San Juan Bautista, and South Gilroy. And streaming live everywhere on the planet at WednesdayRec.com. Yours truly, Kazzeo, in the building. And as I said earlier, I'm joined tonight by a very special guest. I haven't had a chance to have my man on the show in a few years. It's been a while. But back on the line, my man Jeru The Damaja. What's up, man?
What's up, Kazzeo? What's the word?
Man, it's so much. I mean, the times we're living in right now. I mean, have you ever seen in your life? I mean, I think it's the same as mine because we're basically around the same age. Have you ever seen anything so wild as what's going on right now?
I mean, you know what it is? It's not that it hasn't been crazy stuff going on, but now we just have the means to see. You know what I mean? Like, before we didn't have social media, so you really didn't know about things were going on. Now we getting play by play.
Right.
So it looks even crazier than it is. And then we have everybody feeling their emotions about the situation, right? So we get bombarded with all of these crazy emotions, all this fear, all this hate, whatever's going on. So, yeah, it's been crazy things, but no, I've never seen it like this.
You know, to touch on what you just said right there, I think, like, with social media and everything, and how everybody has a platform now, I think social media has kind of eradicated the class of the voiceless, because everybody has a voice.
But you know, it's crazy, but some motherfuckers shouldn't be talking, though.
Yo.
I don't know if I can curse, but...
No, we're on the radio, bro. We're on the radio.
I know, my bad. I said, I'm going to get you shut down.
Yeah.
But some people shouldn't be talking.
That's true.
What I'm saying?
That's very true.
So, and for all the regulatory boards, that wasn't Kazzeo. That was Jeru.
You know what's crazy, though, is, like, I look back on it and, like, the societal changes in my life. I look back and I think, like, okay, I remember when you could be sexually active and not have to worry about AIDS. And I look back and I remember when the Rodney King beating happened. That was another game changer, you know?
Right.
And then 10 years later you had 9/11, and that was another game changer. And now with this pandemic of the coronavirus, here's another one. You know, and that's not even including all the technical advances. Like, I remember when there was no iPhones, there was no beepers, there was, none of that. And now it's like common, you're born with it. So, I mean.
Right, and that's the thing. Not to cut you off, but imagine Rodney King if they had social media, or 9/11 if they had social media.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
It would be just as bad. Like, if you think the riots are bad now, imagine if Rodney King time with social media. Come on, it would be awful. And that's what it is. It's not that it's so much worse. It's that everybody's saying their feelings.
Right.
And you know, and then what happens is, I was talking about this earlier. What happens is, you know, even if something is a lie, I was reading this book about this. Even if something is a lie, if you hear it enough times, it starts to sound good to you.
Right.
It starts to sound acceptable.
Right.
Even if you know it's a lie, like even if something you know is not a fact, if you hear it enough times, even if somebody's talking about it in a negative way, right? If I'm coming on every day saying to you, the earth is not flat, the earth is not flat, but you keep hearing it, you become familiar with it, and human nature, things that are familiar to you, become a part of who you are. And I think that a lot of times, go ahead, what are you going to say?
No, I was going to say it's the same way like when you work every day, like with your hands, you build up callus on your hands. You get so used to it that it doesn't bother you anymore.
Exactly. So it just becomes a part of who you are, right?
Right.
You don't even think about the calluses.
No.
Now, when you first get the calluses, you're like, oh man, I got calluses. And after that, I was like, whatever, it's just calluses.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They're not gonna do anything to me. And more than that, you know, they always say that you should guard your feelings. Look how many people's emotions you are being exposed to on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard. You know how they say a psychiatrist needs a psychiatrist?
Right. Right.
So imagine now you hearing everybody's emotional baggage in the whole world on a daily basis.
It's true, man. It's true. It's, you know, it's the one of the things though is like, you know, there's so much emotion in society right now, especially with everybody having a voice. It kind of, I think, while everybody is getting their point out, some of the points are lost because some of the stuff that is being put together to, you know, quote unquote, bring about change, some of the things aren't correctly organized and structured, and they do end up doing more harm than good.
Listen, Sun Tzu said this a long time ago. Too much information equals no information, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And my mother used to always tell us as kids, me and my sister, we could all sing together. We can't all talk together, right? We can all sing at the same time. We can't all talk at the same time.
Right.
It's gonna get lost. If everybody is talking, it's gonna get lost.
If everyone's talking,
and that's the trick.
If everyone is talking, then no one is listening.
Dig it. So,
Yeah.
And that's the trick, Kazzeo, is that they say, see, we feel like, oh, everybody has a voice, but because everybody has a voice, like you said, nobody's listening. It gets lost.
Right. Right.
The whole message is lost. What is it? What are we saying? And then we have confusing messages too, right?
Yep.
We have confusing messages. We have messages that are designed in order to create opposition. For instance, stuff like Black Lives Matter and All Lives Matter. Those are two arguments that shouldn't even be an argument, right? Because Black Lives Matter, because All Lives Matter, and All Lives Matter means Black Lives Matter.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
let's work on how do we fix this? How do we change this? Not about arguing on the semantics, right, and creating these two groups. But see, that's what they always want to do. They want to always create these groups that keep fighting. Because if we keep fighting, then we're not working on what we need to be doing. And I'm not talking about these groups of the Black Lives Matter and All Lives Matter. I'm talking about just the semantics of it, right?
Right.
Like it makes no sense to be fighting over that, and not saying that these people, because we know that these people who saying All Lives Matter coming with a racist agenda, but that's why the people who have Black Lives Matter were supposed to say first All Lives Matter, right? Because then they came against that. They supposed to say, hey, stop killing our black children, our Latinos, our urban, because all lives matter.
Mm-hmm.
And what could the opposition say to that? No, they don't.
Yeah, see, again, it's like that. That's something to me is like, I always try to operate like I don't try to go on emotion. I try to go on logic, and while you know the initial premise of you know the whole movement thing was good, I think the execution had a lot of flaws.
That's what I'm saying, because you know when you want to attack, you have to plan your attack in a way. Look, I love Sun Tzu, and Sun Tzu said the ultimate victory is not winning a million battles and a million wars. And I'm paraphrasing. He said the ultimate victory is to win without fighting. And that means you have to set yourself up in a way where they can't even come at you. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Because if they would have took the All Lives Matter first, they couldn't have even came at them. You understand what I'm saying? There could be no opposition. You like, all right. You know what they're going to say? No, they don't. You know what I mean?
Right.
See, that's that opposition that's being created. It's always created that. It's always that them against us. You know, that's how racism and all that type stuff actually started and put the poorer classes. Because look, these people that people are fighting against, those are poorer classes. Those are not movements. Those are not the people who are writing the laws and all of that. In some cases, right? But these redneck racist dudes and these dudes, they not doing that. They the same victims. The government is robbing them the same way.
Yeah.
You know, that's why in my new song Power, I talk about Fred Hampton a lot, because I really like Fred Hampton. But a lot of people don't know about Fred Hampton now. You know, we all know the Black Panthers, and when people think about the Black Panthers, they think about this black militant group and black power and all that. But what Fred Hampton was doing, and this is the reason that they killed him in his sleep at home, is because what he started doing was saying, look, it's about the oppressed against the oppressor, no matter who you are.
Right.
They started the original Rainbow Coalition. So it was the Young Lords. It was the Young Patriots. So it was Puerto Ricans and hillbillies and Mexicans and women. You understand what I'm saying? They was getting everybody together.
Right, exactly.
And they was like, look, it's us against them. You know what I'm saying? It's the proletariats against the oppressed class.
See,
and
man.
so they killed him because, you know, whenever a leader starts to speak unity, they kill him. And that's why I said that line, unity is the enemy, and that's what I've learned. Of course, I grew up in an oppressive system that was designed, it was built on slavery. So as a young black man, or any man who's not of what they want to consider to be the higher class or whatever, then I get oppression. The system was designed for me, right?
Right.
The system was designed to, and I mean, and you know, and this is another thing, Kazzeo. How do you, like KRS wants to say, how do you expect justice on stolen land? You expect liars and thieves and murders to be fair and honest? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You over there, you over there in California right now. Where you at, Salinas?
I'm in the heart of it.
You in Salinas, right?
Yeah.
All right. Why is that called Salinas, man? You know what I'm saying? Because that used to be Mexico.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? And they telling people, go back to where you came from. But this is where I came from. I've been here. You go back to where you came from. And they believe that. And that's the crazy part about it. See, these people who are doing this, they victims too. They just victims of the lie. Right? They caught up too, because they say, "Oh, I'm an American and I've been here." No, you haven't. Your ancestors came from Europe. They were the criminals, the thugs, and all that, and they got shipped over here. And the reason that America got started because they didn't want to pay their taxes to England. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Hey, man, you know, I want to take a quick break. I want to go back to one of the classics. This is one of my favorites off the first album. This is the gem with Afu Ra, Mental Stamina.
Oh, no, for sure. Mental Stamina.
You know, I think this was one of the highlights of that album. And then when we come,
thank you, bro.
When we come back, we got to talk some more because I know you got a lot to say. I want to ask you too when we come back about relocating out of the United States to where you're at now. So,
right.
You know, I'm sure there's a good story behind that. So I want you to stay on the line. And we're going to come back in a second, but check this out. This is Jeru The Damaja featuring Afu, and this is Mental Stamina. Yes, indeed, back in the place right here. This is 90.9 FM, KHTC Radio Bilingue. Yours truly, Kazzeo, in the building. Still chopping it up, talking to my man, Jeru The Damaja. What's going on, sir?
What's going on, my brother?
Man, we covered a lot. We covered a lot in that last segment, man. We got to a lot of stuff.
I know That's because it's like 4 o'clock in the morning out here, and I got to go to the store and get some snacks.
Okay, so now speaking of that, so I had mentioned that as we were going to the song the last time around, I had mentioned that you're now out living in Germany. How exactly and what caused this to happen?
I mean, I just like to travel around and move around. I don't know where I'm gonna be next. It's like, honestly, before the pandemic joint, I was planning on taking it to Amsterdam. You know what I'm saying? I'm just exploring. Look, I'm in a blessed position, and I'm in a blessed position where I get to travel around the world. I get to see other lands and experience other cultures and just live free. And that's my goal. Really, my goal is to be free, and I think everybody's goal should be to be free. And that's the thing I find about what everything that's going on now is that even people who's supposed to be in your group, if you telling me what to do, I ain't free. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Right. You're supposed to be free to make your own choices, to do what you feel like is best. But of course, we can't stand for injustice, and we can't stand for things that are not correct. But that don't mean I gotta play by your rules. I'm gonna play by my own rules. So that's why I decided to take a little rock out here, and it's been a blessing because look, at home people are locked down, masked up. Here it hasn't been like that. There was never a real in where I'm at in Berlin. There was never a real official lockdown. I mean, I didn't have to start wearing a mask until maybe a month and a half ago. And the only reason I knew that because I was winging it, and then I went to the bakery. And the lady asked me, "Oh, next time you come in, I'll notice they had on masks." She's like, "Next time you need a mask?" I'm like, "Oh, all right, I'm sorry, thanks." And that was it, because I don't be really keeping the news. But I mean, dig it on this. Like, all the numbers and all that out here, right now, in Germany, the whole country, a country with like 80 million people, the active number of cases is like 7,000.
Wow.
Right? I'm getting ready to go do a show in Denmark on Friday. I'm going to drive up to Denmark. The whole cases in the whole country was 12,000. Right? Man. And they got shows rocking again. I'm doing a youth center. I actually did a live streaming concert at the club out here. I'm doing some other live streaming events. So, like, I'm still able to move. And that's a blessing because look, a lot of brothers is locked down. They can't get on a plane. America is on a blacklist.
Oh yeah, we're not going nowhere.
No fly zone. Yep. So but I'm out here, so I can move around. Right. And a lot of places I could get to on the train. I could drive. Airports are open. They opened up to certain third countries. So, I mean, are the cases going to spike up and spike down? Of course they are. That's like with anything. But I think people are more fearful than they actually need to be. Don't get me wrong. It's things going on. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
It's things going on. So, like my mother always said, pay attention, be alert, be mindful. But I mean, we all have to deal with the fact that we all gonna die someday. And when you come to terms with that, you can live more free.
Yeah.
Not saying that I want to get nothing and I want to die and nothing like that. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody comes out of the game alive.
Dig it. That's life. That's how it goes, right? Nobody comes out alive.
Hey, yeah, man. So, let me ask you, man. I mean, because I'm about to drop "Come Clean" here, which is the classic of classics. I gotta know, man. When you're making a record like that, and Premier hits you with that beat, are you just like, I know this is gonna be a classic? I already know.
Well, I mean, the way that record came about is that that was actually the first time I ever came to Europe, 1992, and I used to always do sound check for Guru, R.I.P., and Premier used to always cut up Onyx. Heads up, because we dropping some.
Right.
So I said to Premier, I said, yo, when we get back to New York, we need to make a record doing that. That is the hook. He like, bet. So when we got back, he only had the drum track for me. He said, I'm working on something. So he came up with a drum track. He said, look, this is a drum track, drum pattern. He said, now come to my house. So I went to his house, and he had in his little home studio at the time, in the crib, in the room. And we just started listening to records. We listened to about 4 or 5 records. And then we heard that record. And you know, and at the time nobody knew what the record was, but now everybody knows the record. They got the internet, so it's a Shelly Man record.
Mm-hmm.
And then we heard it, and we just both looked at each other like, yo. And he was like, yo, you want me to loop it like this, or you want me to loop it like that? I was like, yo, loop it like that. And that's what he did, and it became, I wrote the rhyme. I wrote the first verse in my man Mike Rome's car on the way back to the PJs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I wrote the rhyme, and so yeah, I had a feel. I mean, I feel like whatever I do is gonna be a hit. So that's just how I am. I love myself. I'm a real MC in that respect. I think I'm the greatest of all time.
But that's the attitude you have. That's the attitude you have to have, man. You can't go into it halfway, man. You can't be you can't be halfway pregnant. You got to go the whole 9 months.
Right. Oh yeah. I put it into the base. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I never
right.
just stick to 50. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
If you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. You gotta commit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta commit.
You have to,
So,
man.
yeah,
you have to. So, hey, man, how about let me drop this, Come Clean, and then when we come back, we'll talk some more to Jeru before we let him go, and then we'll get into the current single, Power, and we'll talk about a couple other things. All right?
Word.
All right, here you go, man. Oh,
Hey.
wait a minute, that's the wrong song. I went to the wrong song. That was my fault. Hold on, let me get the right one here. I think this is
Which is a dope song, though.
Yeah. My mind. Okay, this is the right one.
We're gonna talk.
Oh, well, that's the wrong one too. What am I doing here? You got me all.
Oh man,
you got me.
I got you confused.
You got me thrown off here, man. You got me thrown off here. Okay, this is 9 is the one it's supposed to be.
There you go.
So let me see if this is the right one. No, it's not. Why does it say? Okay, so that's my fault. Okay, that's my fault. I put my Mind Spray instead of.
You mislabeled your song.
I loaded my Mind Spray instead of Come Clean. So let's go to my Mind Spray, and then we'll come back and we'll talk some more. All right?
All right, that's what's up.
All right, so we're back in the place here. There was a little bit of a confusion. I did some mislabeling on some of the track that was supposed to be on, so I hit an instrumental instead of the right song, and Jeru's clowning me off the air. He was like, what an amateur. He's like, I'm not the one making the mistakes, you are. I was like, yeah, you damn right it is. that is the problem. That is the problem. But hey, man, all right. Let's talk about what you got going on currently, because I know that the single Power, I've been playing it the last couple weeks here. Give me the background on that, the production. Tell me everything I need to know about it, and what do I need to know about what's coming next?
All right. Well, basically what I'm doing now is because a lot of us brothers from my era, we have moved into the new music business. And it is the way people listen to music is different than when we used to first create music. You don't sit around for 2-3 years. So I decided that I'm gonna come out with a new record every month for the next 15 months. Mm-hmm. A new record, a new video every month. So look out for that. The first one was called Power, was produced by my man. I got a new super team of producers. It's called Itza. And you'll learn later about that. But my man who produced Power is called Itza. And we just decided that we're gonna make hip hop that we love. We're gonna make hip hop in a way that we love, but it's not gonna sound dated or old. It's gonna be fresh and new, but still have that boom bap appeal. And that's what I'm working on, and that's my mission, and that's my goal. And if people are on that mission and on that goal, then they should support a brother. They should follow me on Spotify, more than on IG and all that. Follow brother on Spotify. Listen to music. Loop it if you love it. And that's all it is, Kazzeo. I'm just making new joints. So in the next week or two, I'm going to have the new joint for you. It's called If, and that'll be out, and the video will be out. And I'm going to just do that every month, and I'm just going to keep going. I mean, if you're going until you get tired of it.
I love that quote right there. Loop it if you love it. I love that quote.
That's my thing. That's my hashtag. Loop it and love it. because we know that these music platforms pay like 43 cents, less, not 43 cents, half a penny.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Not 43 cents, but half a penny, less than half a penny, 0.0043 cents for things like Spotify. Tidal's a little better at 0.0187 cents, but it's still less than a penny, or a little more than a penny in some cases, right? So, and especially imagine now, I'm good because I own all my publishing. That's why it's very important to own your publishing. I'm the rights owner of a lot of my work, most of it. You see what I'm saying? Like, honestly, I own my own trademarks and all of that.
Right.
So I'm getting a percentage than people who don't. You know what I'm saying? And it's still not fair. You know, so that's my new call to action. Loop it if you love it. You know? So I call all my fans, go on Spotify, go to Tidal, go to Apple, wherever you listen to music, get Jeru The Damaja Power, and loop it for 24 hours, one day a week. You know what I'm saying? For the rest of your life.
Exactly,
you know?
man. Exactly.
Help your brothers who, and I ask you for nothing else. I mean, I love it. It'd be great if you download it, but if you say, hey, I don't want to, though, while you sleeping, just throw it on loop. You know what I'm saying? While you at work, just have my joint looped at the crib on your computer,
there
on
you
your
go.
phone.
There you go. If you're running an apartment complex, have it playing in the elevator.
Dig it.
You know,
on loop.
Right?
You know what I mean?
Exactly,
On
man.
loop.
Exactly.
Just listen, loop it if you love it. If you holding it down, if you holding the rubber down. You know, if you about the real music, you say, because a lot of people got to just say, oh, we tired and but then they not doing anything about it, right? They not supporting the artists like that. They say, yeah, I support you, but because they bought your record 25 years ago. I mean, that's great, but that ain't doing nothing today.
Could you imagine if like somebody thought outside of the box and they worked at a record company and they like saw an apartment building that had like 15 floors, right? And they went and they figured out a way to program the elevator. So if somebody said, I need to go to the second floor, track 2 from an album would come on. I need to go to the 5th floor, track 5. And like they could license it out, and like that's more promotion. Somebody needs to do something like that.
Well, you should have came out with that idea yourself. Why you telling?
No record labels want to pay me to promote nothing, so it's all good.
Things
it's all
change,
good.
Right? Remember when they used to be knocking down your door?
Man, I remember.
You know what I'm saying?
You know the budget that record companies had in the 90s was outstanding. I loved it.
You know?
I mean, you know, I don't even get me started because I could get some people in trouble for maybe possibly some payola, but nonetheless.
Listen, nonetheless, it's a different game.
Yeah, definitely a different game.
You know what it is? Either adapt or you die.
Hey, before we jump into Power and I let you go, let people know how they can catch up with you online, man.
Oh, man, online, like I said, for me, it would be dope if everybody just went, whoever's listening right now, just went on Spotify and followed me and played Power. And also, you know, I'm on Instagram, so that's at Jeru_The Damaja. YouTube, at Jeru The Damaja1.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook.com, Jeru The Damaja. Like, I'm on everywhere. Just hit Google, Jeru The Damaja official, whatever place, and I'm there.
That's
what's
up,
they all
man.
got checks instead of Twitter. Twitter don't like me. I think I don't know. I might have boned somebody's wife down because I can't get a true check.
Oh my goodness! And on that note, we're gonna jump into the latest right now from Jeru. This one's called Power. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. You know, I hope to have you back on a lot sooner than last time. You know,
yeah, for sure. That was years ago, bro.
Yeah, definitely was,
like
man.
a long time.
Definitely was.
But you know what? It's all good, and that's the beautiful thing about the internet, right?
Thank
you for having me, my brother, and be looking for my email real soon with the new joint. You know what I'm saying? And I'll send you a link also so that you can check the video early and all that.
Word.
Like I said,
Word.
I'm doing a new song every month, 2 videos, a regular video and a lyric video.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
It is. No half-stepping.
All right, man. Well, hey, you go get some snacks because I know you're hungry. And let me jump into this power, and we'll talk soon, all right?
All right, Kazzeo, my brother.
All
One
right.
love, peace, happiness to everybody out there in Salinas and all over. Peace.